The final EP we're going to talk about this week is from Tool. It's Opiate. This actually predates their first full-length album, Undertow, by over a year. It was released March 10th, 1992. This is back when Tool was still very straightforward and mostly shorter songs leaning into an alternative metal side. It's more raw, just 6 songs and 27 minutes. That's like 2 songs from them now. Starts with the song Sweat. Immediately grabs your attention with the deep riffing and Maynard coming in, showing off his range, belting out that chorus before we go into a more melodic and subdued sound. The drum and bass section in the middle is a standout moment on the entire album.
Yeah, I really love this stripped down version of Tool. They were just so fucking pissed here. Common ingredient that Nine Inch Nails shared around this time.
Well, these albums both came out in 92.
All of the elements that will eventually become the Tool that we know are all here. Not to mention they were arguably better at writing hooks back then than they are now.
I don't think they try to write hooks anymore.
It
They
does-
just write songs.
yeah, you're probably right, but they definitely don't have. They had hooks on this and on Undertow. Like they had big fucking hooks.
Yeah. Hush is next. It picks up the intensity. There's a relentless pace to this track. It's more chaotic, but Maynard still shines over it all with his vocal.
Yeah, Paul Diamore's bass sounds so fucking good here. The bass line really just makes this entire song. You gotta love these deeply insightful Maynard lyrics as well. Fuck yourself, you piece of shit. Why don't you just kill yourself?
Straight to the point. Part of me, I love the little bass riff that is pushed to the front of the mix in the opening. And then at about 80 seconds in, we get a really cool, frantic groove with a huge scream from Maynard coming out of it. Pretty cool track.
So heavy, man, especially for 1992. Great fucking song.
Cold and Ugly is a live track. Even back in 1992, these guys were incredibly tight live. If it wasn't for the occasional crowd noise, you might not even realize this is a live track. It's got a raw energy to it and some more standout bass moments. The instrumental section going into the solo sounded very good.
Absolutely. If you've ever seen Tool live, you know that they sound basically perfect live. And apparently that's just always been the case. Like, it's pretty
Yep.
crazy. I know this is the live version, but it just, this is raw sounding in the best way. Not that they didn't perform it well. It's just got that very authentic sound.
It didn't have all the bells and whistles that they put on later on.
Right.
You know?
It's just so fucking heavy. And much like a band like Rage Against the Machine, that heaviness is coming primarily from the low end. It's not really coming from the guitar. The fucking bass is pushing that heaviness all the way through.
The bass stands out throughout the entire album. Jerk Off, another live song. Such a cool riff to open the track. This one is a ferocious onslaught of aggression that keeps a frantic pace leading into the lyric. I should play God and shoot you myself.
I do love that line.
Tired of waiting. And what follows is just a chaotic explosion of visceral intensity and emotion. Really cool live track. Opiate is the closer. It's the title track. It's an early look into what Tool would become later on with the intricate guitar work. Maynard's back and forth between the hypnotic vocal and the aggressiveness. The drum and bass solo on the back half just keeps building and building and building. It's a really great closer that takes you on a ride. The song ends at 5:20, but wait, there's a bonus track called The Gaping Lotus Experience that starts at around 6:10. It's a weird, trippy, zone out type of thing, and it's just very unnecessary. Also an early look into some of the filler shit that Tool would become known for later on. Jason, what'd you think of the closer?
Yeah, but also kind of a theme of those 90s albums, throwing that hidden track on the back.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot.
Sometimes you would get gold, and sometimes you would just get a band that was high as fuck and just put some bullshit out.
Normally you'd get bullshit in the hidden track.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But yeah, Opiate, I don't know how we didn't bring this up on title tracks. It's a perfect song. Still one of my top Tool songs of all time. We talked about this one on our Christmas episode last year. If you want to check that out, because it does have some of the most blasphemous lyrics that you will hear.
The Holiday Special.
Holiday Special. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite tracks from Tool and a great fucking title track for sure. Overall, when I listen to Tool, This is what I usually kick on. I'm more likely to play this or Undertow because it's just captured a vibe that's not necessarily there on the newer stuff. But it's not to say I don't love the newer stuff because I do. They're just very different moods. So when I want to hear something that's a little bit more spacey, I'll listen to the newer stuff.
Yeah.
When I want to hear something that's very just angry and just kind of tongue in cheek lyrics and just a good time, I'm going to kick this on. Every single song is a banger on this. This one is a 6 out of 6 for me.
6.
Even the Gape and Lotus experience.
That shit don't count.
It does then. It took me a while to get into this as I learned about the album later on. So going back to this more raw sound wasn't easy, but once it clicked, it really did click. It's amazing to me how good each musician is already at this point of their career and how great the chemistry was between the band at such an early phase. If they would have cut it off at the real end of Opiate, this would be a perfect EP, but they had to add that filler, and that bumped it down a little bit for me, and I give it a 5.5 out of 6.
I don't know, man. I don't think you should count hidden tracks
I
as
don't
part
know.
of the album.
You might be right. The rest of it's perfect.
Yeah,
It's great.
I don't know.
Either way, it's great.
It's not
So,
something we've established on the show. Maybe it's something we need to discuss more, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't count them. I don't count them at all.
fair enough. It's 4 EPs for you. What was your guys' favorite EPs? Let us know in the comments.
It's fucking Tool, Opiate. That one and Alice in Chains are the best EPs of all time. I fucking said it.
I mean, my only argument would be Orbit Culture's 3-track EP, which I liked a lot.